Hi, my name is Cailtyn Black, and I'm a junior at Ohio State University majoring in culinary science, and today I'll be making an apple pecan salad with raspberry vinaigrette. For this recipe, you'll need a bowl of salad, a third of a cup of chopped pecans, 2 Granny Smith apples peeled, a half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, a cup of fresh raspberries washed, a half a cup of balsamic vinegar, a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, and 2.5 tablespoons of white granulated sugar. An important thing to remember before you begin chopping anything or slicing any vegetables, chopping fruits, is to hone your knife. And honing simply means realigning the top of the knife where the edge is. So on an edge of a knife, there's microscopic teeth, and these teeth get bent over time, natural part of the knife. And so to have an illusion of sharpness, we hone the knife, which is realigning all the teeth together. And how you do this is you take your knife and you line up the heel of the knife on a honing steel. And the width of your knife is about how far away you need to angle your knife from the steel. So I have a very small angle. And you want a 20 to 25 degree angle here. And then you're going to pull down, across, and back on one side. That's one pass. And you're going to do 5 to 8 passes on each side of the knife. So you're going to go down, across, and back. Switch sides. Same angle, down, across, and back. 5 to 8 times on each side. And that should realign your teeth so that when you go to slice, chop, or otherwise cut something, your knife will be nice and efficient. So once you have honed your knife, you can begin to slice your apple. And I'm going to slice around the core. So I'm going to make a box around the core here. We're going to hold our knife with the blade between our thumb and our first finger, and then just wrap our other fingers around. We're going to slice down, and we get a nice slice of apple there. We're going to turn the apple, again slice, turn, slice, turn, and the last slice. And then we've cored our apple, and we have these nice chunks of apple that we can slice into about 1/4 inch slices here. You're going to want to keep your blade of the knife on the board and use slow controlled movements to cut. And your other hand that isn't holding the knife is in a claw formation so that you don't accidentally cut any fingers. And we're just going to slice this apple up. And then these slices go on our salad. Okay, now we're going to be making our raspberry vinaigrette. And the purpose of a vinaigrette is to emulsify 2 liquids that otherwise would not mix together. So in this case, we're using a vinegar, which is going to be a water base, and our oil. And in this case, the emulsification would be a oil and water because we are dispersing the oil into our water ingredients. And so the water, or the vinegar in this case, is our continuous phase, and the oil is our dispersed phase. And we also have a surfactant, which is our Dijon mustard. And the surfactant acts as a coating around the droplets that are made by the oil and the vinegar, and this helps bind it all together and help it stick, because there are 2 sides to the molecules in the proteins of mustard. One side's hydrophilic, which means water loving, and the other side is hydrophobic, which is water hating. And the outside of oil is water hating, the outside of our water is water loving. And so it basically binds both pieces together and keeps our emulsification stable. Okay, so to begin, we're going to dump in our 1/2 cup of balsamic vinegar into our food processor here. We're also going to dump in our 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. We're going to dump in our raspberries here. Okay. And just put in our mustard here. And the reason why we're putting in our mustard with our water ingredients and not our oil is because the mustard is soluble in water. If we used a emulsifier that was soluble in oil, we would add it to the oil first. And our 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. We're gonna put on our lid and just kind of pulse this in. Pulse it until you break up all the raspberries in there. And do it just a little longer. Okay, and now we're going to drizzle in our oil. So we're gonna let it run and drizzle in the oil at the same time. So I'm gonna turn this on.
Go for it whenever you're ready.
Okay. So when we drizzled in the oil into the running food processor, the oil droplets got broken up into tiny, tiny pieces and were suspended into our continuous phase, the vinegar, by the assistance of the mustard. So because we used a food processor, our emulsification is very tight, which means that it won't separate into oil and vinegar very easily. So this can be stored in the refrigerator for a longer period of time, as opposed to putting it in a putting all your ingredients into a mason jar and shaking it, which also does the same emulsification, but your emulsification would be loose and you would get that separation quicker than if you would use a food processor to break up the particles into smaller sizes. So now that we have our dressing, we can dress our salad with our pecans and a little bit of our dressing here. I'm just going to use our spatula. And another good reason to emulsify your dressings is if you ever go somewhere and get a giant pile of vinegar at the bottom of your salad bowl, that's because the salad dressing was not emulsified properly. Because if you have a nice emulsified dressing, your dressing will stick to your salad won't wilt as fast, and you won't end up with that giant pile of vinegar in the bottom of your salad bowl. So here's our apple pecan salad, which is a great lunch, dinner, or otherwise snack for the busy college student. I hope you enjoy this easy salad and salad dressing recipes so that you can depend on yourself instead of the fridge or the supermarket next time that you want a snack.